Unreal. That's cool. That's cool. All right. So you're getting back from driving around, you're saying?
This is the mature episode, right? No?
Hey, don't speak too early, all right? We'll figure it out as we go.
All right. This episode's rated PG-13. Please make sure your kitties hit the bed.
Nah. This episode has not been rated by Roger Ebert yet. You know right?
Actually, you know what, guys? Listen first before you even let your wife hear it. It might not be okay.
Hide your kids. Hide your wallet.
Hide your kids. Hide your wife. They're getting everybody.
It's going down. Holla Mayday.
Yeah, man. Just told you I got the new job.
Nice.
So now I'm doing
You told me before, but please elaborate.
Marketing for hospice.
Okay. For hospice.
So I'm going around
promoting death.
I mean, I don't promote death. I think death promotes itself. Just kind of help you get to the finish line is all.
Okay. You're pushing those solid gold caskets?
Listen.
The silver urns?
Money talks. You get what you want if you got enough money.
How much did you really love your family member? Show us now.
If you didn't love them enough for a 24K casket, you didn't even really love them. Listen, if you can't afford the 24K casket, let me just get you a shovel. You can bury them in the backyard. Since you obviously didn't care for them.
Okay, real talk. What do you know about like the laws for that? Do people still bury their like relatives in their backyard? Isn't it illegal?
Do people do it or is it legal? Which was the question?
I'm sorry. Is it legal to do that? No, right?
I heard that you can get exceptions made, but it's a process. Yes, I've heard.
Might be some food for thought.
I've heard. Like, I've never looked into it, but I've heard that you can get like an exception or like, I don't even know if it's a waiver or something, but like there's a way you can kind of go about it. But I've also heard that if you get it approved to bury someone in your backyard, you never have to pay taxes on your property again.
You know what? I've been seeing that all over Instagram. I wonder if it's really true.
I don't know if it's true or not.
All these like... That's the thing about the internet, though. It's like all these things that are supposedly like hacks, life hacks or whatever. Like you don't know if it's stinking true.
But if you just bury someone back there, I'm sure it's a fat fine.
Let's find out.
I mean, I know a guy who owns a mortuary, owns a funeral home. I could find out.
It was funny because I interviewed this barber in Vegas on my trip. And I asked her, I was like, what did you originally want to do before like you settled into this? And she's like, I wanted to be a mortician. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, well, it's still kind of the same field of making people look good.
I mean,
that they're
similar,
gone.
just now that they're alive.
Now they can't fight you.
Now if you give a bad cut, they complain. Where if she cuts up a body a little bad, no one's going to say nothing.
Hey, man, you got to take one to get one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So what exactly do you do?
So exactly as I'm out of like hospitals, skilled nursing facilities. So those are like rehab places. Like if a patient is at a hospital and they still need more help or they can't go home, they usually go to a skilled nursing facility.
Help as far as what, like?
Skilled nursing facility are usually like rehab.
Okay.
Like PT, OT, ST.
And it's of all ages?
Yes, all ages. Well, I do hospice adults only.
Okay.
There is a hospice for pediatrics. That is super sad. I don't know that I'd want to do that, but like they do exist.
Talking about taking your own work home with you, man, it's got to be hard, dude.
Like I've done hospice for 6 years, so like at this point, I'm cool. I don't mind talking about it. But even me, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I could do pediatrics. Like, most of our patients are like 70, 80, 90. Like, they've lived a full life.
It's different because, like you said, they already experienced what this life has to offer.
Yeah, they've lived a full life. But to think of like doing hospice for like 5, 10-year-old, 15-year-old. Like, they just started.
Unreal.
We do adults. We only do adults, and even then, like I've had a patient that was my age, and I'm like, fuck.
That's the more crazier ones, in my opinion. Like when it's people who are of the same age as you are.
Yeah.
And it just puts it into perspective. Like nobody's promised tomorrow.
Yeah, they were my age. It was he had a genetic disease, so his dad died from it around the same age. I don't know. I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but he had a son who probably is gonna have it, and will probably die around the same age.
Oh man, that's tough.
Yeah, so he was like 30 something, left behind a little kid.
This is a positive podcast.
I know. Who there's a chance that the kid's gonna have it because it's genetic. So if he has it, he'll probably die around the same age, 30 something.
What was it again?
Huntington's is what he had.
What is
It's a neurodegenerative disease.
like you're going to be Stephen Hawking or?
Kind of, like not what he has, but essentially like if I remember correctly, it's the myelin sheath around your neuron. So the coating, bro, you asked. So think about electrical. You know, electrical is insulated.
Yeah.
The insulation wears away.
No.
So the electrical signal gets lost. So you start losing control of things. Like
There's a
slowly you lose
movie about
control.
this. We watched it for my biology class in high school. It had
Probably.
that girl, Susan Sarandon. And it's essentially that, like her and her husband, I believe, were the ones to like engineer the myosheaths for the electrical impulse.
Mm-hmm.
That some people just have deformity, and their DNA sequence, right? Like they just, it doesn't grow for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it said, what does it do to them exactly? Do you remember?
So what happens is as it like wastes away, the signals get lost. So you start losing control of your fingers, like the fingertips, and then the hand, until pretty much your brain can't send control to your lungs or heart to work.
Oh gosh. Some people are just born broken.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
And then it's genetic. So his dad died around 30 something from it. He died around 30 something from it. He had a kid who there's a chance they'll have it, and they'll die around 30 something from it probably.
It's wild. So what were your initial thoughts when you first seen that person who had passed? Your age, you remember?
So I remember when I first saw it, I was like, dang, this guy's my age. What's he have? And that's when I found out. I was like, oh, that's rough. And then they told me he had a kid, and I'm like, that sucks.
That's got to be like your hope, right? Like when you have a kid, gosh, I hope they don't get this.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that show, Sons of Anarchy?
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, I won't spoil
Everyone
it.
tells me I need to watch it.
Well, they came out a long time ago, so
I
spoiler
know.
alert, but...
At this point, it's my fault. Go ahead.
Yeah. Take your responsibility, sir.
Yeah. At this point, it's my fault.
So the main character, like he's born with a heart defect, and essentially like he passes that gene down to his son as well. Mm-hmm. And they just kind of, the mom had it as well too. They just kind of like incorporate that into like the show, but it's crazy that pretty essentially like your whole family could carry that thing that is going to be the downfall later on.
Yeah, man.
Or might not be.
Like I know, I used to work with someone. She didn't want to have any more kids because she had this gene that she carried. She had this gene she carried to pretty much where your body doesn't clot when it starts bleeding.
Hemophiliac?
Yes. So she passed it to her son. So whenever anything happened to her son, like they'd bleed, and it would for a good while.
Can't stop. You have to go to the hospital.
Yep.
I know one of the royals had that in the Queen Elizabeth family bloodline. Mm-hmm. Just from years of like incest and inbreeding.
Yeah.
I know that.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm glad you brought it up. Yes, it is from years of incest and inbreeding.
Are we giving opinions or facts here?
Listen, I don't know your crowd. I don't know how many British followers you got. God save the Queen. Oh wait, she died. God save the King.
Oh man, see, you're adding insult to injury right there, bro. Sorry to all the listeners in the UK.
You guys know Americans don't know anything. It's true, bro.
It's true.
But yeah, it's pretty much what it was, and I'm like, damn, that's rough. Because then the bigger concern is, which I didn't even think about, Sam. She mentioned is internal damage. Like if you get like a bruise is bleeding inside your skin.
Right.
But like if you hurt yourself and there's no bleeding, like you don't even know to look for it. So if you could be bleeding out in your body.
And most of the time, like situations like that, they don't have any external warnings. So it's not like you could go and be like, oh, no, I'm bleeding on the inside. I could see that, totally see that.
Yeah, you wouldn't notice it for a while until like enough blood collects, and then you have a giant ass bruise, and then you're like, oh shit.
That's wild. There's this pastor that I listen to. He has a church out in Texas called the Village Church.
And, a church in Texas, you don't say.
I know, right? Diamond Desert, right? No, but anyways, a few years back, on Thanksgiving morning, he said that he was having coffee with his family, and out of nowhere, he just blacks out and falls, right? So they take him to the hospital. They let everybody know, and they find out that he has like some sort of tumor in his frontal lobe. So, you know, they blast him with chemo. They go through the whole process. He ends up surviving it, you know, with, you know, a percentage of his brain cut out.
Yeah.
Like the ones that, it's the part of the brain where essentially it controls like the speech and the motor skills. And they gave him like 2 years to live, and it's been like over 13 years now, you know? It was like, it's crazy that even the most serious, like some of the most serious things like that can also not have too much effect as like a myosheath or whatever we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, man. I mean, it really all just kind of depends. I know medicine's a science, but it's like things like that, it's hard to tell. Like, especially in hospice, you get the question a lot like, oh, do you know how long my loved one has? And like, usually we tell them like, you know, only God can tell you how much time they have left. But like, I would start preparing.
You just can, like a general warning.
Yeah, like start getting things in order if they're not already. Because usually once you're to be on hospice, it means that a doctor's told you that you have 6 months to live or less.
Sheesh.
So if you're on hospice, you should already have things in order, or at least for sure thinking about it.
That trips me out because I'm not like super, you know, prepared for that. But I mean, like the people who do like no preparations and they just kind of leave it to their family to sort it out after they die.
Yeah.
Like there's families who break apart because of things like that.
Oh yeah.
It's so sad. It's like you already are experiencing like a pivotal moment in life, and now you got to add on like fighting with your siblings if you guys didn't have like a will predetermined or
and part
living
of
trust.
And part of it's because they're having such a great loss. Like they're like, no, I want to do this. Like some of them, like a lot of times what happened is families want to do what they want, not so much what the loved one wanted.
Right.
Like this is unfortunate. What will happen a lot of times is we'll have patients on hospice and they'll sign a DNR.
Do not resuscitate.
Do not resuscitate order. Well, as the, you know, usually as diseases progress, the patient becomes less alert and oriented, and they're no longer able to make their own decisions. And sometimes families will take that opportunity to cancel their DNR.
Really?
So while this person was alert and could make their own choices, they're like, you know, I've had a good life. I'm ready. Like I'm ready to go. But it's hard for families to let people go. So as soon as they get the opportunity, they'll counsel and be like, no, keep them alive, whatever it takes. And sometimes keeping someone alive, whatever it takes, really sucks for that someone.
Or the opposite, not doing everything that you could have done.
Yeah.
To save them. Like, that was part of the story with Selena, right? Is like she could have had a blood transfusion, but she couldn't because of...
She was Jehovah.
That's, I guess it really just comes down to the person and their wishes, right? But who knows, man? Who knows? So I see you survived the earthquake.
I did survive the
earthquake. Did you
earthquake.
hunker down? Did you go buy a bunch of toilet paper?
So I heard about it, I think the first time Thursday or Friday. I was like, it's fine. And then more people started talking about it like Friday, Saturday. So finally, like Saturday afternoon, I was like, hey, is this like a serious thing? Because I wasn't taking it seriously at all. And then I know somebody who works at Costco, and they're posting like, this place is stupid packed. Everyone's here trying to buy water. I'm like, maybe this is serious. But by then it was too late to go do anything, so I just, whatever. And yeah, luckily it was cool. It was chill.
I've seen a lot of people mocking it, and I never really took it serious. We were out of state at the time, and we were supposed to get the same amount of that, but really it was nothing, you know. It was crazy though because we're sitting, as we were driving back, we stopped and we got like dinner at a restaurant. They had the news up and they just kept showing the same footage over and over of like people in the mountains because they definitely got the brunt of everything.
Yeah.
But over here, people were just like, oh, they're making fun of it and like, I can't believe, you know, we got all hype about this again. And I was like, hey man, you went through unscathed, but some people lost everything. Did you see those cars that were like stuck up to the seats in mud?
Really? No, I didn't see that.
On the highways? I was like, dang, bro.
I did see like I think it was like on the news. You know, the news only like shows the worst of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I saw like a tree that fell on a car, and I'm like, at least it's just your car, not your house. Like that's a way bigger deal.
It kind of sounds callous though, but it's like, oh, where is it? But you know, some areas are more inclined to feel impacts like that. You know, you live next to the beach, it might not be like a everyday occurrence, but there might be a tsunami one day. But there might be a high tide.
Yeah, you know the risk.
Yeah,
it's like living in Tornado Alley. It's like you had to know that a tornado was going to come through here. This can't be that big a surprise to you.
I was a few weeks ago. My buddy had planned like a family beach day at Balboa Beach. And you know, over there, the houses go for at least $3 million.
Yeah.
And I was walking by them on the daytime because, first of all, it took a total of an hour to get there and find parking because it's a one-way in, one-way out type of way. And I just kept thinking, like, who would pay this much money to live? You're stranded. Like, if something were to happen and a car breaks down, which did as we were leaving, like, it took even longer to get out of that situation.
Yeah, because Balboa Island, is it just one bridge on?
Essentially,
I think it's one or two bridges in or out.
Like, don't get me wrong. I saw what it was all about at night because we had to park like a mile away to find parking. So my wife sent me to go get the car so they don't have to walk with the kids and everything. So I went, and it took me like a good 25 minutes just to walk to where the car was.
What a good husband.
But you don't see it in the daytime because like they're packed like sardines with one house on top of each other.
Yeah.
But you get it at night because you see all the people just chilling, bonfiring, a couple drinks, just watching the either like TV or just talking to each other, and it's beautiful. I can see why people would pay that much, but I'm like, man, if something were to happen to y'all, or dunzo.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like a tidal wave. Like earthquakes are pretty often. That bridge could come down.
And that's when we were like coming back from Vegas too. My niece and nephew had came a day earlier and they left a day earlier. And they said that the 15 was closed from like Hesperia down.
Because of the rain.
Because of the rain, it got washed out. So they had a detour around it somewhere like Palm Desert or something like that.
Yeah, that's a big old detour.
It's like, man, get me to the country where I have some space around me.
Right.
That's my goal.
Yeah, like Balboa Island, I think it's just two bridges in. Like, it's just two bridges to get in or out. So yeah, one decent earthquake, both of those knock out. Like, you're stuck there for a little while. I mean, luckily, even if you're close. I heard, actually from the hurricane, I heard that Catalina Island was being evacuated.
Oh, really?
Because they were supposed to be right in the path of it.
I don't know. I really didn't pay attention too much because, like I said, we were out of state. But I remember the day before we left, I was chopping up one of my boys, and he was saying that he was in Downey, and there was a helicopter flying around, like giving advisories to like get to higher ground. He's like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, see, like, same. I wasn't taking it that seriously. Maybe I should have. Who knows? But, like, people started telling me, like, oh, yeah, Catalina's being evacuated. I'm like, oh, really? I was like, all right.
Listen, man, everybody could be a Monday morning quarterback, all right?
Yeah, right?
So, it's not what we could, woulda, shoulda, coulda. We made it happen. We're here. We're out here.
It was fine. I lived. It'll be a nice story if I remember it.
That's cool. Anything else interesting lately? Go any Dodger games? And
I did go to a Dodger game against the Brewers last week.
What was it like?
Last week, question mark? I think it was last week. It was good, man. It was good. It was nice. It's nice to see Kike back on the roster. I like Kelly back on the roster. I like Kelly. He's an a-hole.
He's a dog.
He is.
Got that dog in him.
He is, but I like it when he's playing for us.
Hate him when you're playing against him?
I hate him when he's playing against them, but when he's on our team, yeah, do what you do, Kelly.
Do your thing. Go ahead, boy.
I'm going back on the 30th for El Salvador night.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that much pride.
It depends on the day of the week.
That night?
That night, yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Got my fantasy football draft coming up.
Oh, gosh.
Please send me information on who to pick. So much work.
I don't know. I've never got involved into that. I've been asked to join. I don't have the time or the patience to orient my life around these people.
I agree. I did it last year. I've been asked before. I'm like, no. It's so much work. It just seems like so much work. Like the people who do fantasy basketball and baseball, I'm like, bro, how do you do it? Like that's so many more games. But I did it last season. It was fun except for the days where I was out late and I needed to set up my roster by like 9 a.m.
So tell me how that works, because I've never played. So you pick them week by week, or you have them for the season?
So you pick them up, you do your draft. If you want them for the season, you can have them for the season. But, there's buys, people get hurt. So you got to pick up people. And then the problem is if somebody gets hurt, but they're not like injured or they're just sitting out of practice, you got to watch them that entire week to see if they're going to play or not.
So you know it to activate them? Or?
Yes. And you have up until their game time to swap them out. So usually like Sunday morning. You have until Sunday morning to set your lineup. And then if you forget and those players play, well, that's it. They're locked in.
Do you get paid for this or sponsored?
There is a pot.
Okay.
So this season we're buying in $70. $70, 12-person league. So $840.
Oh.
I think.
And who moderates that? Who keeps it like, all right?
Usually,
how do you keep track?
Usually there's a commissioner. Where there's one person who's chosen to just monitor everything. They monitor the trades, the teams. They collect all the buy-ins, all the good stuff. I don't remember how the pot's going to be split, but I think there's going to be a first, second, and third. Third place gets their money back.
Okay. So it's not like you have to win or go home. It's
not winner go home. It's not winner takes all.
So you could have like a mediocre year and still be okay.
Yeah.
Get your money back.
You can at least get your money back and you've played and talked shit and had all that fun. Because that's the biggest part of it, is just the shit talking.
Do you guys have any like crazy thing that you have to do if you lose? I know some people wear like bras or skirts.
Nothing yet. I heard we're going to have, our commissioner told us we're going to have a combine.
Oh.
To figure out draft order. So I don't know what that's going to be. But knowing the commissioner, it's not going to be anything good.
Listen, don't get hurt, brother.
I know, that's what they're saying. Like 40 time for draft order. I'm like, it's all fun and games till somebody pulls a hammy. It's all fun and games till you pull a hammy.
Listen, y'all can have all that. I'm cool just watching it every now and then when I can.
Listen, I don't got to be the fastest. I just don't have to be the slowest.
I just got to be faster than you.
There you go.
Dog mentality. That's cool, man.
But it is work. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it is work. Like, I remember last season there was weeks I was like, man, fuck this. I don't want to get up. I'm going to bed at 3 a.m. I'm like, I don't want to get up at fucking 9 to check my roster to see who's playing. That shit was annoying.
You're dedicated. I'll give you that, sir.
Nah, dedicated, dumb. It's a fine line.
Blurred lines.
Yeah.
I know you won't. Didn't that guy get sued for that song?
Yes. I don't remember by who. But I do remember there was like a lawsuit. There's a copy of something else from someone. But aren't most of the songs now anyway?
I mean, come on, it's like the generations prior made their whole living off of doing that. Like,
Yeah.
Who am I to judge, you know?
I'm not going to say any names because it's being recorded. But a lot of people got a lot of samples, so I'm just saying.
I've been following this page on Instagram where this dude, like, he shows where the samples came through from, like, most of the famous songs
Oh,
of
yeah,
like,
yeah.
rappers. Oh, man, it's so sick. Like, it really does, like, fascinate me that there are people out there who can hear one part of an instrument of a song
Yep.
and just build an entire beat around it. You know, and it doesn't have to be perfect, too, because, like, that's what made RZA one of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Dilla is, like, they were kind of off a little bit, but it sounded better than as if it was crisp, you know?
Dre did that a lot. Dre has a lot of samples from like older songs.
I remember having a conversation with my pops. He was like, just typical boomer. Like, oh, they're not even playing real music. They're just taking from other people. I was like, yeah, but they're paying homage to their generation. This is like the songs that they grew up hearing at their house, you know, or around their family. And now they're just putting their spin on it and people happen to like it. You know? It's like, stop being a hater, dog. Let them live.
Tell him, sit down, boomer.
And then somewhere along the line of like LimeWire, Napster, the artist didn't like it no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but a lot of people even now still do it.
Come on, man. I've been known to infect a family computer with a LimeWire.
You know, life's a risk, carnal.
Downloading some show tunes from a TV show.
You thought it was show tunes.
I don't know, what is this? What this is? It just showed up. Yeah. Anywho. What's the plan after this?
I was supposed to have a softball game, but we forfeited because we didn't have enough people.
Wow, you didn't even call your boy? I'm semi-retired now.
We were getting people, and I guess he just didn't have enough. I don't know if you remember, you know, if you don't warn them with enough time, you got to pay the other team's blue fees. So he just wasn't trying to risk it and give away extra money.
That's tough, man. Managing a team and having to collect from adults who don't want to pay for the season. It's like,
Yep. Been there, done that. Not interested in doing it anymore.
Nah, my coaching days are over.
And I was like, hey, you want to manage? I was like, hell no. Figuring out we got enough people, setting up a lineup. Nah, I ain't doing all that.
Get there early, fill out the sheets.
Yeah, nah.
Hope people come with the money if they haven't paid already.
I'm good.
Y'all can have all that.
And then, like you said, chasing down adults for like money. I'm like, come on, bro. You knew what the fees were.
It's not a surprise. We go through this every year, sir.
Right? We play four seasons a year. It's not like you've been on the team for how long?
Come on.
At this point, you should know. At this point, I should be an auto draft.
Have you guys been playing games already, or this was the first one?
No, we've been playing. We started. I want to say we're maybe halfway through almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we started in July.
How's this squad been? Like, how's this season been?
The season's been.
Any ballers this year?
Trying to think. This season's been pretty good.
Co-ed or men's?
Men's on Wednesday, but I did just start playing with the co-ed team on Friday.
Look at you.
The team's no good.
It's just a vibes play?
Just yeah, it's one of those beer leagues, you know. It's Friday. It's Friday night. Just going out, running around a bit, have a brew.
Brew, talk smack, be a little competitive.
You know.
All too well.
You remember.
I remember getting hurt for
a 12-pack?
For a 12. For the team pride of the Friday night men's league. 6:30 league.
Yep. Now we're the first game's at 6, which to me seems really early.
It trips me out when people play like at like 9:30. I'm like, golly, that is way too late on a weekday.
Sure is, Grandpa.
Sheesh. Hey, dog. I need my 8 hours. That doesn't mean I get them, but I need to try. You know what I mean?
I mean, you do start your day a lot earlier, though.
That was fun. I would like to play one day again, but nah. Sometimes it got too competitive, though. Especially when we play, like, men's league at, like, Yorkfield.
That's where I play Wednesday.
Oh, man.
Men's at York.
It's like, dude, what are you fighting for?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's never that serious.
Some people make it that serious, man. It's not me. I don't know you that well.
Yeah, it's. What are we playing for? Nothing? Oh, yeah, it's not that serious.
Yeah, that's right. You got him. You start coaching him from the dugout. Throw that uppercut. Throw that.
Yeah, right.
His right hand's down.
Like, trash talking in the fun of it, sure, but, like, honestly getting pissed for something you're paying to do, it's not like they're paying you. You're paying to play.
You have to pay the refs. You have to pay for the ball. You have to pay for the league.
Yeah. It's not that serious.
Maybe that's why they take it that serious, though.
We're not paying that much, bro.
You're not.
I mean, I
what
guess
about the
that's
dudes
true.
who are playing like 5-6 nights a week?
Yeah, that's true.
In their mind, dog, that's an MLB.
But at that point, you shouldn't be in a rec league.
I remember we used to play. I used to work for this company, and one of the owners, she was pretty avid softball player. So she played on a women's national team. Mm-hmm. So one time she invited me to play this tournament at Huntington Beach, and it was pretty cool. She brought like some of her teammates, like husbands. These guys are like 6'3", just from like Iowa or something. They were playing with a wood bat and still crushing it over the fence. Dude.
Yep.
I remember this guy hit a straight laser. I was playing third base. Straight laser right to my glove. It hit my glove so hard it just popped out. Didn't even swing.
Yep. Believe it.
Oh my golly. Happened again. Dropped the ball again. Sheesh.
You didn't learn it the first time?
Man, in my mind,
In my mind, I thought I was ready.
thought it was Derek Jeter over there.
Came a lot harder than I thought, though.
It was so scary because some dude was telling me one time they played a tournament at the Big League Dreams, mm-hmm. and it was a co-ed team. And you've seen like some people who when they start losing, they start cheating, bringing out the hot bats.
Yeah.
So this dude was playing like a co-ed, like low-level team, and they start losing, so they put this girl in the hot corner at third base. And this guy pulls out a hot bat, dude, and just smacks it straight to third. Bullet hits the girl straight in the teeth, knocks all her teeth out. It's like, bro, come on.
Yeah, nah.
It's not that serious. I mean, I get it, though. It's like, you might not think it might not add that much, but it's just the velocity that the ball comes out with.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, it's a missile. Like, I got scared playing shortstop sometimes because some people can hit the ball, dude.
Dude. I understand. I pitch sometimes.
Oh, gosh. That's like my favorite thing to watch. Is like the
pitchers panic? Or the pitchers get smacked?
When the pitchers that you play with, they should be wearing like equipment, and they're like, nah, I'm good. And then they get smacked in the shin and have a bruise for like ever. So at that point, you deserve it.
Wow, that's rude.
What, the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Told you earlier, I'm not interested in the truth. I can't handle the truth.
you got it for free, sir. You came with the service.
Yeah, because I don't wear any equipment.
No. Mid at best.
Yeah. All right. It's all right. It'll do, I guess.
I'll come back, I guess. Thanks for coming on, man.
No, appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it. Till next time.